Hello everybody, happy Wednesday afternoon. My name is Elise. Welcome to my tea table. Come on in. We're doing a Constitution study group. That's what I usually do on Wednesdays, but it's been a couple of weeks. Actually, I've been streaming the Practicing Safe Sex like live broadcast or podcast the past few weeks. So we haven't done this one. So I'm back. Welcome back to the tea table. Feel free to say hello. I'm also trying something else new today. And this may annoy y'all, but this is just a test. This is just a test to see, you know, how into it y'all will be and how possible it is for me to do this. But I am going to merge this stream with the stream that I have to do for Pococha. So I have not started the Pococha stream just yet. I will. And once I do that, I'm all in. And so I have to be committed to staying connected and communicating with everybody that comes into my stream through Pococha. So I know y'all can handle it. We'll have fun together. And you know what I figured? It may encourage y'all to get in on the Pococha action. It's good fun there. I've been having a lot of fun there. I'm streaming every day there. It's mobile only, so it is a little bit different. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start streaming. Oh, I didn't give my broadcast a name. Call that. Drink tea and learn. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But we are going to do a Constitution study group. And so for now, I'll use this mic. I'm trying to, hey Shiloh, how are you doing? How do I get my mic to work? The receiver here is, let me go check the other receiver. You should be able to hear me now. I just put it in my hey Shiloh, I'm going to message you later today. I finally, oh, because this thing went dead. The batteries are dead? The batteries are dead. Oh, I'm going to charge. I'm going to charge. That's what happened. Alright, so let me, sorry about that, Shiloh. I'll set up my notes on mic so you can hear me better. Yeah, thanks for letting me know that, Shiloh. You should be able to hear me now. Yeah, the music's cool. This is my buddy. It's his music. His name is Sojourner. Technical difficulties. Check, check, check. Check. Check, check. Check, check, check. Check. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. You didn't hear all my checks. And for some reason the boom mic's not working either. Check, check. Check, check, check. Mic, check. Mic, check. Mic, check. Mic, mic, mic. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Check. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? Oh, shoot. What happened this one? Oh, I'm all flustered today. And it's hot, as usual, in Las Vegas. Always so hot in there. I'm in my warehouse, so I don't have AC. All right, so let me arrange this now. This should be okay. You should be able to hear me a lot better now. I've got the boom mic on. Yeah, my lapel mic batteries went dead. Hey Fred, how's it going? How is it going? All right, so all y'all, I'm trying something new today. So I am streaming to a brand new mobile app that like I have like a commitment that I have to stream a certain amount of hours every month. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. The app's super fun. And so I'm testing something today where I can like collaborate the streams that I'm doing with y'all and then on that app. So I have not gone on. Yeah, the sound is way better. A mic makes a difference. I mean, my lapel mic is good because I got the fan on. So this boom mic I'm currently using is so strong that you're hearing, like, let me turn this off for a second. And you'll see how different the audio, like there's no more of that buzz noise, but I have to have this fan on. It's too flippin' hot. And that's why I was like really into that lapel mic, because then, you know, I could just have that on and not be bothering. But thanks for being here, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna go live. I'm a little nervous about this because y'all are gonna get to see what crazy mobile streaming is like. It's super crazy. It's like very high energy, high social, but y'all may like it. You know, there may be an app that y'all can get into. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, thanks for that, Shiloh. Thanks for... Yeah, Shiloh, honestly, I am going to get back to your message because I finally did solidify the date. So since you're here now, I might as well just tell you. So August 23rd to the 29th, that whole week. Let me know what works for you, what time you want. Like, there's not going to be consistent scheduling, programming every day at the same time. It's, it'll be all over the place. So you are welcome to set the time that you want. And we'll have about a week, like a solid week to promote. I'll even make you a flyer that you can use. I'll use it too. I just like, yeah, I got really discouraged about that whole thing, that whole event, like the samples getting delayed. Like I do have the samples now, they did finally come in, but like the excitement has kind of wore off. So yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking, but all right, I'm gonna go live. We're gonna drink some tea. Y'all are gonna get to meet the community on Pococha, P-O-C-O-C-H-A. It's funny because it's got cha in the name, and like the word really doesn't mean anything. It has no, it doesn't mean anything in Japanese. I don't get it. Anyway, you know what? Y'all probably get an echo on the music now, right? That'll be better. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. Like once like I think by the end of this week, definitely by the end of this week, by Friday, I'm gonna be excited about this event again. Because I've already sent the samples out to the people that bought tickets, and people will start receiving them and hitting me up and getting excited, and I'll have everything set, so I'll be excited. I just needed something. I think I told you about this. I just felt like a little let down about that whole thing, but yeah, message me, Shiloh. That'll be good. Thank you for that. Hello. See, so with the Pococha, the video does not record. It does not stay as a video on demand that you can watch later on. Actually, I should message all of I have like a family, and I can message them and tell them that I'm live. It's just a test. cute green hearts. I like that, Shiloh. Thank you. So yeah, we are going, oh, hi. Welcome. Welcome in. We have Shane. Hi, Shane. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, so Wednesdays, I like to do a Constitution study group. It's pretty serious. It can get kind of studious, but it's just like a place for us to reconnect with that education that, you know, we get when we're in high school. But hey, Preemi, good to see you. Thank you for the like. Thanks for dropping in. I am broadcasting from a new location. I'm at a different table. I'm actually at my normal streaming studio, so that's why it looks a little bit different, but I'm like hanging out here in the tea field, so as we're sitting here drinking tea, we can feel as if we're out at the tea garden hanging out, or if you're on the internet, you're hanging out in the newsroom with me. But let's drink some tea. I've got my water. I'll reboil it so it's nice and fresh and hot. How was y'all's day today? The command center. That's right, Fred. That's exactly what it is. This is the command center. Oh, look at me. I'm shrunk. You know what that reminds me of? That movie. What was that incredible movie where the people like miniaturized themselves and went inside the human body in Inside Out, or what was it called? Inner Science? Was it called Inner Science? I'm not too sure. But it's like people figured out how to miniaturize things, and so these people miniaturized themselves while they were in this like little fly capsule thing, and they went to the body. Like, is no one not remembering this movie? I remember this movie. I liked that movie when I was a kid. There was another movie from when I was a kid that I was just reminded about, that I was like, dang, I haven't thought about that movie in so long. The Navigator. Y'all remember that movie? Oh, thank you for the hearts. Hearts are fluttering. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, thanks for the claps. Clapping it, Shane. Clapping it. Thanks for the like. You're studying tea geology as we speak? I want to know more about that. Flight of the Navigator. Yes. It wasn't called just a Navigator. You don't know that movie where they miniaturized themselves into the body? It was pretty funny, you know, and they're like floating around with all like the blood cells. Oh, hello. All right, so I got my water here. Chinese style gung fu tea table. Typically they are, you know, looking like this. The other table that I broadcast from is actually made of stone. This one is made of bamboo. Flight of the Navigator. All right, so I just poured a little bit of boiling water into the gaiwan. This is called a gaiwan. This is the quintessential tea brewing vessel. And the purpose of putting the boiling water in the tea wares is to prime everything, warm everything up. So whenever you put the tea and the hot water together, the tea doesn't experience some shock in the cold environment. Y'all my little friends? I've got so many little friends. I got so many little friends. Do you notice the Shiloh? Do you notice this one? Do you notice that? What do you think it is? I'll put it closer to the camera so you can see it, but I'll let you guess what it is. Hey Dawn, what's up? What's up, Dawn? So this is just water, which I can just drink. Sometimes people throw that out. Sometimes people like throw it on their tea pets. So these are the tea pets. These are not conventional tea pets. I mean, yeah, a rubber ducky is certainly not a conventional tea pet. But that's the beauty of tea, and that's the beauty of gung fu cha, or what I'm practicing here. It's a bird with a tanuki package. This one. Well, it's funny that you say that because, you know tanukis. You know tanukis. That was a good guess. Does it look like a tea flower now? I mean, it's pretty vulgar. What do y'all think it is? it's what you think it is. It's like somebody, I went to a house party one time and they had like a whole big bowl of ceramic little things like this, and they were like, you take it, this is like your party gifts, come inside. So yeah, it's funny you say tanuki, because like this is certainly having some tanuki vibes here, right there. It's a flying phallus. Yeah, Shiloh, you got it correct. Thanks for the teacup, Shane. So, we're talking news today. Like, check this one out. I'm broadcasting from the newsroom. I got some fresh news right off the press. Hey, Dragon Knight DJ, what's up? Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for liking. Yeah, I'm from the news. Actually, I'm making tea right now. I will get back to the news later. Yeah, but we are going to talk about the news. Like, so Constitution Study Group, I find some relevant topic, news article, something going on in the world for us to discuss around civility or civil code. And essentially that's what the Constitution is. The Constitution is this agreed upon shared code of how we will maintain a capacity of politeness for each other. Oh, thank you. Male genitalia, it's not vulgar nonsense. It's really not. It's really not. It's science. It's nature. It's beautiful. But thank you for correcting your spelling, Shiloh. Appreciate that a lot. I really do. It means so much. It means so much. Yeah, so today's topic is on the government's constitutional duty to protect the news. I found an article in the Seattle Times, freshly published, and so I figured it'd be kind of fun for us to read that article and then have a conversation. Because yeah, the news industry is something very important to us, especially during a time like now where there's so much uncertainty and there's things that we need to stay up with in order to be polite with one another. So yeah, I want to understand that. Like, what does a constitutional duty to protect the news look like? I was out of the cam for a second. I've got my disco ball here. Usually I have it hanging. I should just like put it hanging here. Just like have it like right here. I like it. Hey Weira, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Elise and welcome to my tea table. Yeah, I could play like basketball with this, yeah. A little dangerous, but yeah, so that's why I've got it here. I'm like, I want the disco ball here, but I cannot hang it. It's really high. There's a place I can hang it from. It's science. You're right, Dawn. Hey, pretty Brittany, welcome to the broadcast. It is science. A dong with wings is certainly some type of scientific experiment, of course. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know, but like at that house party where I received this beautiful ceramic piece of art, again, I'm gonna get in trouble on this app for showing this thing. The entire bowl of ceramic artwork that was available as a party gift was phallus, like this, yeah. What is the plural? Art and science intertwined. What is the plural of the word phallus? Phalli? Okay, I need to get back to brewing my tea. I got so distracted. But yeah, I've got a lot of buddies on my table. These are all called tea pets, and these are a pretty fun part of tea culture that like a lot of people here in the United States have become very excited. This is a beautiful little persimmon. People always confuse this for a pumpkin or a little squash, but this is just this is not a tea pet. Like this is one of those little ceramic phalluses, ellipses. Yeah, this app is totally family friendly, or yeah, meant to be family friendly. So oh, that was creeping me out. Like watching this, like yeah, that was creeping me out a little bit. Okay, so everything is warmed still. Yeah, this is still warmed. It's been a second. Thanks for those claps, Shane. Thank you so much for sticking around and supporting me. I appreciate you. Oh, this is the tea. This is a green tea from Darjeeling. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for all the beautiful spammy spam. This is the tea. This is a green tea from Darjeeling. The name of this tea is Moktu Chia. Moktu is a Nepalese word. Phalli. Phallusis or phalli? Thank you, Shiloh. Shiloh, I apologize in advance for the advertisements that you're going to be served over the next month or so. Putting that into your Google search. Yeah, the tea is pretty. This is a steamed green tea made in Darjeeling, India. Green tea can be either steamed, or it can be pan-fired, or it can be even blanched. You can like put the tea leaves, submerge them into boiling water to create the kill green step, which is where all of the enzymes that cause oxidation and browning of the tea to stop. This is steamed, and the Moktu is the stainless steel steaming apparatus that is used for making momo. If y'all have ever eaten at a Nepalese restaurant or even an Indian restaurant, because momo tend to be like a part of Nepalese culture that's greatly appreciated in India. And you will see momo all over the country of India as a street food, and it's really good. Yeah, so momo, I believe, I'm not like 100%. If there's someone that speaks Nepalese anywhere in here hanging out with us, that you can correct me and let me know if momo is short for moktu. Because the moktu is the actual stainless steel. Hey, Maximilian Goof. New boots goofin'. What's that? I like that meme. Hey, thanks for the like. New boot goofin'? Yeah, that's a funny one. I don't know what that means, Fred. Kemkes? Okay, I'm gonna brew my tea now. I do have boiling water. I could allow this water to cool a little bit. Actually, maybe I'll do that just so I can show you how that's done. So boiling water, freshly boiled water in my kettle here. That'll be enough for what I'll need in service. I dyslexia'd. And so yeah, I poured it into my pitcher. This is just the boiling water. When I put it in the pitcher like this, it expedites the water to cool. So instead of having like a temperature controlled kettle and like setting the temp exactly to 180 Fahrenheit or 185, whatever you want, because with green tea, there is a lot of caffeine, and there can be tannins in the tea too. And when those get released, they can make the tea bitter and astringent. So if you over extract all of those things in the tea, you know, and that's the reason why a lot of people say they don't like green tea. They say, oh, I don't like green tea. I've had it before. I don't like the taste. I just don't like it. More than likely, if they're having that opinion, it's because they didn't have it brewed well. Because the water was too hot, the tea was steeped for too long. So it's been in here for, I don't know, a couple minutes now. The temp has not dropped significantly, but I would guess from it being, 207 when I put it in here, it's probably dropped down to like 195 would be my guess, which is, a couple of degrees cooler. It could potentially help you be more skillful in your tea brewing. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. So our buddy Fred says that he has a green tea that gets super bitter on the 4th and 5th steep. Oh, thank you, Shane, for all the beautiful hearts. I got hearts for you too. It gets super bitter on the 4th and 5th steep. That's interesting. Like, is that because you're brewing it stronger? Like, is that happening when you brew it the same way every single time? Or, yeah, let me know. Let me know. But yeah, I'm not going to steep it for too long. It's probably been steeping for like 20 seconds now, and I think that's enough. I'm going to try it out. I want to drink some of this tea. I could use this strainer. Actually, I will, just so I can show you, to hold back any leaf. But the Guy Wan, like, once you become skillful at it and you're like comfortable with it, you can like, well, see, there we go. We had a little bit, a bunch of leaf came out. I'm glad I had the strainer there. You can actually get really good at holding back all of the leaf just with the lid of the Guy Wan. And after you steep it like that, expelling the lid, that's a really good time to catch the aroma of the tea. Hey Jonelle, what's up? Jonelle has something to say about brewing temperature. She says she's been drinking Assam at a cooler brewing temperature, and it comes out smooth with, I believe, less caffeine. And that's the reason why, Jonelle. That's the reason why. And that's why, like, sometimes people will make the claim that if you rinse your first steep and not drink the first infusion of your tea, that it'll have less caffeine. Because people are like, oh, I'm worried about caffeine. What's up, tea bruh? I'm not your bruh. You want to call me sister? That's fine. Tea fam, welcome to the fam. Hey JJ, thanks for the like. It's a very small green leaf. The folks at the tea house call it angel green. Is it like a bud only type of tea? Like maybe Angie Baicha, that's a really popular green tea that's really light and delicate. And I guess it could become more bitter and astringent on the later steeps. But it's usually like the first infusion. There's such a nice smell. Sweet smell, almost like cotton candy. Like that cooked sugar aroma. The feeling of cooked sugar. Yep. Yep. You enjoyed some 2003 Hey Chav? Hi, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Drinking some green tea. Hanging out in the tea fields. About to do a Constitution study group. Stick around, collect some Poke Boxes, get some coins. Send some support this way if you want. You are all welcome. I've got my disco ball out. Usually my disco ball is hanging, but I just like, I've moved my studio to a new place in my warehouse where the ceiling is very tall. Kuding green, I think. That's what it's called, Kuding green. I don't know that tea. Oh, this tea is really great. This tea is really nice. Yeah, I'll be your tea sister. You can call me your tea sister. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I've gotten my first infusion in. I'll go ahead and get another one going. So the water in my kettle has already reduced in temperature. Like I do have a temperature controlled kettle, and I can see here it says 192. So I probably don't need to cool this water before infusing, you know, so that is the nice thing about these temperature controlled kettles. The specific one that I use is called a Bonavita. I am not sponsored, but like honestly, this is the top in the game. There are several other brands that you can find, but this one's good. This is the 1.7. It's pretty big. I can hold a lot of water and just have it handy, which is nice. He's nice. He's nice. All right, so I've got some learning for us, some conversation for us to have. I don't know what happens with my OBS. It just like flips out and does something weird when I rotate between scenes. All right, so this article is coming from the Seattle Times, and it is titled, "Government has a constitutional duty to save the news industry." Let's see how our feelings are on this. What can we learn? All right, so I'm probably just gonna read like a sentence at a time. Usually, like, I'll sit and read through the whole thing, but I've got to keep an eye on this Pokecha over here. Qingshan Lu Shui? I don't know that. I don't even know that one. What province is it coming from? Do you know, Fred? Which province? Only one private institution is mentioned in the Constitution, the press. a good start. Did you know that? Did all of y'all know that? That's the only private institution mentioned in the Constitution. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shortages. Oh my goodness. It's so stressful. Now someone's here. Sichuan. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of tea in Sichuan. I'm not, I've never been there before, and I'm not connected with that industry at all. Maybe sometime soon. I know a lot of good tea is coming from there. Hey, holy cow, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for the cute emotes. Cute spam. If you're gonna spam me, better be cute. Our nation's founding, okay, I'm gonna start over. This tea has got me like, I'm like, it's reacting fast. The energetics in this tea is reacting fast. Only one private institution is mentioned in the Constitution, the press. Our nation's founders recognized that a press free to criticize those in power and spread information across society is essential in democracy. But what does that mean today when we see newspapers disappearing every month? Is our government failing to meet its duty to protect and strengthen the press? Right. So I think that this is probably going to be a pretty strong opinion piece, but we can still engage with it and see what we agree with it, or see what we would like to expand more upon together, because that's the purpose. This is like, Bible study. I don't know if you ever did that, or people that do that. You just like sit around and read things from the Bible. So in this case, we talk about constitutional duties and codes of civility. The First Amendment assumes the existence and durability of a private news industry. This suggests the Constitution not only allows but requires the government to take steps to keep the press viable. And in fact, the government has done this since the beginning of the Republic. The current press landscape demands new action. Journalism's jobs over the past 2 decades have declined by 60%. As newspapers close and local broadcasting and cable news reduce investment in reporting, digital platforms have diverted ad revenues and enabled the spread of conspiracy theories and misinformation. Especially notable is the loss of reporting in smaller towns, suburbs, and rural areas, leaving thousands of American communities with no local coverage. This decline may even be tied to fewer candidates in office in local elections. That's an interesting tie there. What's my favorite right? Oh, that is quite the question, Garbage. I hope you're okay with me calling you Garbage. I don't know, maybe my favorite, oh, that's such a hard question. I am Garbage. Thank you. Nice. I don't see many hearts on our pan, so thank you for that, Garbage. Appreciate your heart. The right to remain silent. That's what Fred says. Do you utilize that right on a daily basis, like in all of your relationships? Hey Hassam, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for the like. Much love. Geez. Which amendment is it? One of the more recent ones. Let me look it up. See, it's been so long since I've looked at it. Hey, holy cow, congratulations on level 4. The 19th Amendment. The 19th Amendment. You want me to read it for you? Quartering soldiers. What does that mean? What does it mean? Quartering soldiers. Like the army reduced down to a quarter? Is that what you're trying to say? Like the military reduced down? Oh, John McAfee throwing out some fighting words there. The Constitution needs to be abolished and replaced with a New World Order. Jeez, wow. You know, I don't know if it needs to be thrown out completely, but it definitely needs some major amendment. Hi, Amanda. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for the like. Yeah, I don't think it's the 4th Amendment, but the 19th Amendment, I'll read that. That's the one I like. Oh, there's actually an image here. This is kind of cool. Let's see what it looks like. It's got like an image of the actual 14th Amendment on the resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America. Congress assembled and voted that the following article proposes an amendment to the Constitution. So here's the article. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Yeah, I like that right. I like to vote. I like to be, considered a human being as a woman. I like that. So the Third Amendment restricts quartering soldiers, which is very odd to still have around. What does quartering soldiers mean? I mean, I'll look it up real quick right now. I'll look it up. What does it even mean? Quartering soldiers. Thanks for the spam, holy cow. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house. Oh, I get it. Quartering like that. Hey, thanks for the follow, Scotty. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Scotty. Uh-oh, look who it is. Who? Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah, that's what you meant by quartering. I thought, oh my god, how, limited my brain is today that I actually thought quartering meant, half and then half of a half. But no, it means to house soldiers. Got it. So you think it's weird that that's still in the Constitution? You think that's weird? Do you think it's weird because, we don't have war here? We're not accustomed to having war in this country, physically having it here, or... That's what I would think. Bitcoin, you want to come say hi? Yeah, Bitcoin wants to say hi. Come here. Come here, baby boy. Oh, baby. Oh, this is Bitcoin. He loves all of you. Hey, Scotty. Thanks for saying hi. So yeah, I'm trying something out, Scotty. Today is the first time that I'm trying, and I hope it works. It might not work. I don't know if it's vibing, but I'm trying to layer my stream, so instead of having to do 2 separate streams, so I do have the Pacocha. Bitcoin's currently talking. but I am streaming here and on RPAN. Nick says that he doesn't think it's weird that it still exists in the Constitution. Yes, it's a bit irrelevant due to our state of our nation, but better to have it than not need it. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's the reasoning why it's still there. No one's ever questioned it. So, I'm going to get back to our article. Oh, shoot. Oh, my goodness. You see what I did? I got distracted. Look at this. I got distracted, and I forgot about my tea. And now, okay. Now it's going to be super bitter. It's going to be, like, super duper bitter. Oh, Bitcoin, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Oh, he's scared of the water. He hates water. Hey, Nick. Thank you, giving me the points. Thank you, Nick. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for coming in. Come have some laughs with us. You get the better view of Bitcoin on this side. Look at him. Look at that face. Look at that face. Is that the face of a bad boy? No, that's the face of a good boy. So Bitcoin's acquired a new quirk. I think that's the best word to describe what Bitcoin's got going on. He's got this new quirk where if you call him a bad boy, he like cuddles. Oh, he like cuddles up super close to you and like he's in trouble or something. No. I'm making tea. This is some green tea. This is going to be super, well, this is from the last infusion, but the second infusion, I ended up leaving it in there for like 15, 20 minutes, which is no bueno. Thank you for the like, Expeculum. He likes being called bad. Yeah, he's one of those kind of dogs. They exist. You know, sometimes people like being, well, I'm not going to use the word. Like, the word that I should use is humiliated. Some people like to be humiliated, but I'm actually trying to reclaim that word. It's a very powerful word that can bring a lot of joy and happiness to this world, because being humiliated is like rooted in the same word as humility or humble. And I think that's pretty darn good. Like, it's a positive thing to be humiliated. Yeah. Oh, are you a bad boy? Are you a bad boy? Are you a bad boy? Yeah, my buddy Nick, who's hanging out with us here, he, Expeculum, I've known Nick for a really long time, and he's known Bitcoin for a really long time. And Bitcoin's not always been nice. Like, he's been nice to me for the most part, because, you know, I'm his human. But like, to other humans, he's not very nice. He's very infamous for not being nice to people. But Nick has recently started to develop a strong bond with him, and Bitcoin did do something bad at one point. He did something bad, and I was like calling him a bad boy, and he ran up to Nick, and Nick was trying to cuddle him. And I don't know, for some reason that experience, now Bitcoin has this like muscle memory that like when he hears bad boy, it's like, oh, it's time to go cuddle up with Nick. But yes, he is adorable. Thank you for that. Who said that? I saw someone said that. Oh, Vanilla. Yeah, thank you. He is, oh, you are adorable, baby. You are adorable, baby. Yeah, he did. You like being ostracized. Okay, so there's a word. I want to look up the meaning of that word. I want to make sure, because, you know, like, that's what I do around here. I'll pull up a dictionary and we'll just really get to the root of things to understand, like, that we're all on the same page, using the same words and using the same context to communicate and have discourse. So to ostracize is to exclude someone from a society or group. So that's interesting because, yeah, that's, like, not humiliation at all. Bitcoin. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? You like to look up words too? Awesome. Yeah, I started doing it like last year on my streams, and some people were like, what are we doing? What? Bitcoin's like, don't stop petting me. Oh my god, we totally... Oh, thanks for the yikes. Thank you. Oh, 50 fan noise? Wow, speculum. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the hype. Thanks for the hype. Yeah, like I started doing it in my streams, like looking up dictionary, and at first people were like, what? But now people really like it. Oh, what's that? Hey, you be nice. I can't. No. Are you trying to say something? I think what are you barking at this point? At this point, what are you barking at? Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go get him? All right, he's gonna go check out the door. I'm not gonna have someone here. Oh, sorry about that. Bitcoin. What a ham. Yeah, but now everybody's cool. He saw a UFO. That's a good one. Hey, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome. Jalissa, welcome. Thanks for the heart. Hey, Kevin, thank you for the like. Welcome to the broadcast. We got a little off topic. We're talking about dogs and UFOs right now at this moment. But we're having a Constitution study group today, and that's what I do on every Wednesday on my stream, where we look at a current issue and just have a little discussion, a little discourse, so that we can all develop a better understanding around these, because the Constitution and civility, these are things that matter to all of us. Oh, by the way, I need to be in the newsroom. What am I doing? I'm so unprofessional. I'll be professional. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Thank you. Love you. Yeah, we're having a little party here. I bet your civics teacher wasn't this cool, right? Mine wasn't. Actually, mine thought he was. I didn't like him. I got creeper vibes from him. It's like, I couldn't imagine being a high schooler again, like with the philosophy and the ideologies that I have right now around boundaries and around what I feel comfortable with and not. Because, like, there are so many teachers. Hey, real Clark Kent. Wow, we got a real Superman here. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. My name is Elise. Welcome to my tea table. Yeah, welcome. Thank you for the like. So sweet. Bitcoin, what was it? What was it, bitty boy? Bitcoin. You want back up? Okay, Bitcoin's like nothing was there. There was nothing at the door. Oh, Bitcoin. All right, this is Bitcoin. He's a cutie. Like, I know you're gonna love him. He's just so adorable. He's so adorable. So on Wednesdays, I host a Constitution study group where we, oh, thank you for the cutes. Oh, thank you. Bitcoin's like, oh, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. Thanks for the support, everybody. Oh, welcome to the... Oh, no. Oh, thank you. There's just so much support. Oh, cute little emojis. I got a little heart, too. Thank you for the heart, Kevin. So, Pococha, I don't usually, well, I shouldn't say that. This is only like my third stream, or my third broadcast. Before I was broadcasting from my tea table in the other room, in my tea room. Now I'm at my studio. So I have like a full-blown studio, and I do streaming to other platforms on the internet. So I have the green screen. So like the green screen's on this side. But this is the tea fields. We get to hang out the tea fields. This is in Indonesia. That's in Fujian, China. This is Taiwan. This is my buddy Ming Jin Jen. I am not doing a tea ceremony. Thank you for asking that question. I am definitely not doing a tea ceremony. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks. I like the setup in the other room. The other room is like more vibey and chill, but like I wanted to be, because I have a whole workstation here. I'll show you the whole thing. Bitcoin go down. You'll get an exclusive tour of my my setup. See, so this is my green screen area that I can use. And then on this side, I have like my whole workstation. So I have like a whole command center. And so, because I'm reading an article today. We're in the middle of reading an article, trying to learn something about humanity, civility, our capacity for politeness. Let's be polite. Wow, thank you, Clark. Thank you, Clark. I gotta remember something straight. So yeah, we're talking about the news industry, and it's dying. And these people. Oh, thanks, X Speculum. Thank you. It is a cool space. I think you've been here before, haven't you? There's so many levels of crazy meta that happen here and all over the internet. So Nick is a friend in real life that's been my friend for a really long time, but he's here and he's oh my god. And then he was hanging out with me eating bacon and eggs earlier today. Yeah, I won't even tell that story. I won't even tell that story. Okay, so someone asked me if I'm doing a tea ceremony. I am not. I do not practice tea ceremony. I could potentially in the future, and you could too, and I'd encourage you if you have that interest. But the reason why it's important to identify that this is not a ceremony is because there is a high level of reverence and cultural significance involved in ceremony. I mean, that's the definition of a ceremony, right? So, oh, thank you for the welcome. A very important topic that's been brought up a lot on social media and throughout discourse recently has been around the theft of certain cultural items, especially if there's profit to be made from that. So like, if I was saying that I'm doing a tea ceremony and I was charging people admission to come enjoy my tea ceremony, and I'm not really practice ceremony, I haven't like dedicated my life to studying it, dedicated my life to practicing it, then it's like very disrespectful. And so that's why I actively say I don't do ceremony and bring up this conversation, because it's a conversation that's like really kind of tricky, but it's very important. And like, tea is a really approachable, easy context to approach these very difficult conversations, and fragilities, right? Like, that's a word that's been thrown out a lot too, that like, culture's evolving. Like, why do we have to say that like I can't practice someone else's culture? It's like, no one's telling you that you can't practice someone else's culture, but what is important is that there's respect to the reverence of it, and that you just at least study it and understand it. Because just like me, whenever I did start to study it and understand it, I learned, wow, I'm really not doing a ceremony, because I've been to Japanese tea ceremonies, Korean tea ceremonies, various Chinese tea ceremonies, Buddhist and Taoist tea ceremonies, and you feel the reverence when you're there, and you feel the reverence of the people that are practicing that ceremony with you. And it's a very different feeling than whenever you sit at my tea table and I serve you a cup of tea. There is reverence here. It's a different kind. It's not culturally significant. It's not a practice that I've committed myself to, almost like a spirituality. Oh, Bitcoin over there hawking up something. But when I am practicing here is an ideology. It's a set intention that's called Gung Fu Cha. Gung Fu Cha. Cha means tea. That's why it's funny, this app is named Poku Cha. Yeah, preserving their tradition is really important. And we can do that. So like, as a white girl in America, hey Gregory, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for coming in. Much love to you. As a white girl in the United States of America, like I could actually do work to help preserve culture. Oh, thank you, tea culture, nice hashtag. Thank you for that. X Speculum, thank you. yeah, by me practicing this gung fu child, this intention set of making the best cup of tea I possibly can with the resources I have available to me, which does include my education, my experience. Gung fu cha, there you go, Nick, you got it. You got it. You know. Cheers. Put the music up a little bit. Come on, we need to do a little bit here. We could actually do a lot to help preserve someone else's traditions and cultures, even though it won't serve us or it's not for us. But like, instead of stealing it, which has been happening, it has been happening. Stealing it, making it your own, commodifying it, making money off of it, it hurts people. You know, it's problematic. But of course, as many people have pointed out to me, saying things are problematic is problematic. So finding the ways. Hey, so this tea didn't come out too bitter. I had steeped the tea for a really long time. I was afraid it was going to come out too bitter. I over-extracted. I was not practicing gung fu. That's basically what happened. Oh, I take that back. Oh my goodness, that's what happened. Okay. Have y'all ever like chewed up aspirin when you were taking aspirin? Cool emote. Cool emote. Cool emote, Nick. I got an even cooler emote, I'll show you. I've got an even cooler emote. We lost Clark. Clark was here. He's actually really popular on the app. If he was hanging out with us. I think he's gone. Maybe he's gone. Hopefully he got his Pokebox. I didn't see him getting his Pokebox. Maybe he'll come back to get his Pokebox. Yeah, Bitcoin's emote. That's a cool one. It's so cute. He's like... And I took this picture, actually, I took this picture when he was just a wee puppy, like when I first got him. That's what he looked like. But he doesn't look that different, right? You're close to your Pokebox? Get it. Get it. Or as Holy Cow would say, moo. Oh dear. All right, I'm gonna get back to this article. I thought it was important to talk about the ceremony, the tea ceremony-ish. Yeah, I mean ceremonies are open and welcome for everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna have to water this tea down. It is way too strong. There we go. Now I've got like a normal green tea. It was bad. It tasted like when you like chew up an aspirin. And that's what happens when you What's up, Holy Cow? Yeah. It's such an honor and privilege to have Holy Cow with us hanging out. Such an honor. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna finish this article. The current press landscape demands new action. Journalism jobs over the past 2 decades have declined by 60%. As newspapers close and local broadcasting and cable news reduce investment in reporting, digital platforms have diverted ad revenues and enabled the spread of conspiracy theories and misinformation. All right, we read that. The idea of government intervention in the news media is not new. Throughout our nation's history, the federal government has directly and indirectly contributed to the cultivation and growth of the news industry. Hey, Holy Cow, you opened your second Pokebox. Good for you. Awesome. Deliberate government actions map neatly to the history of news in America. The Postal Act of 1792 generously subsidized the delivery of all newspapers. Other policies include investments in the telegraph, regulation of broadcasting and cable, even the financing of research behind the internet. And the government created the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, PBS, which I'm a fan of. I'm a big fan of the PBS. I don't know about y'all. All right, moist mud. We're gonna have a little bit of a discourse right now. Moist Mud says, your thoughts on whether anti-vaxxers should have rights. Okay, so anti-vaxxers have rights. They have just as much rights as we do. Now, are you talking about a specific right? I'm assuming you are in the way that you worded this question. So like they have a specific right to refuse the vaccine. They do, actually. They do. And the fact that the vaccine is not 100% effective, like a lot of people are using that argument of like, that's why we shouldn't get vaccinated because like it's not working for us anyway. I agree with that. Like if you want to choose to not get vaccinated, you can make that choice. I think it's really important that we should be able to make that choice. I'm very like, I have my own boundaries about certain modern medicines that I may or may not need, that I have a boundary. I'm not going to do that, right? And I have that right. But with that right comes just the additional awareness that like is not mentioned in the Constitution, and perhaps it should be mentioned in the Constitution, about social cohesion. Oh, thank you, ex speculum. Get those Poke boxes. Get those coins. Yeah, there's extra factors. I mean, we have the word agency, right? So that's a powerful word. That word has entered into like my sphere of like discourse and conversation among peers and friends over the past 6 or so months, and I think it's a powerful word on this, that like you have agency. Agency means that like you have control over your own decisions and what you can do, but agency also means that your decisions and your activities and behaviors will impact others. And so, or not even just other people, but it'll impact other things, other events, other contexts, other situations, which you have to be aware of. And as you make your decisions and how you're going to utilize your agency and have your free will to do what you want and need to do, we have to be mindful that there's consequences and effects to things. And so the same thing applies in regards to this pandemic. Like, yeah, if you're not going to take the vaccine, like, you be considerate of what that means in the pandemic. Just like if you do get the vaccine and you know it's not 100% effective, it's like you also have to be making similar decisions that an anti-vaxxer has to make. So I'm not against anti-vaxxers, but you know, poor decisions can be made by everybody. We just have to like utilize our agency appropriately. That's the gist of it. Thank you for that question, Moist Mud. Okay, so the government created PBS, National Public Radio, and developed public television and radio stations, providing critical vehicles for further innovation. More recently, existing tax benefits for individuals and foundations are helping to strengthen the burgeoning field of nonprofit journalism. The Internal Revenue Service's 2019 ruling that allowed the 150-year-old Salt Lake Tribune to turn itself into a nonprofit enterprise creates a new model for other newspapers interested in finding a way forward that includes philanthropy. Ex Speculum says, I think we need to find a more suitable word other than anti-vaxxer. That's a good point. That's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. What would that word, what would you propose that word be? Cascade Conservative says anti-guinea pig. Okay. Who else should be deprived of rights? Where does it end? No one should be deprived of rights. Who's being deprived of a right that we're talking about here? The anti-guinea pigs? Unvaxxed. I guess. Okay, I'm trying to think about that. The difference between anti-vax and unvax. Oh my goodness, what is up with this ad behind me? I'm sorry, I'm turning this off. I'm not liking that ad. What the heck? Okay, so Nick is bringing his personal perspective in. So Nick identifies more as an unvax than an anti-vax. Okay. And I don't think that anti-vax is a technical term. I don't think that's a technical term that like any, it's more of like a slang address. But you know, there are people that got vaccinated. Oh, thank you for the like, CJ. Welcome to the broadcast. Someone trying to call me. Don't call me while I'm broadcasting. I'm having fun with my friends over here. There are people that have been vaccinated that even their decisions are in a similar focal point as anti-vaxxers. Yeah, well, I understand that. So, like, yeah, anti-vaxxer is like kind of a negative connotation, almost like a slur. You're right. Underlying hatred and divisiveness. Yes. The underlying divisiveness. I think that's important here. Like, if you just take that like connotation and how you're addressing somebody's capacity for politeness. There are people that have been vaccinated that are in the same boat. That like don't give a shit. They're like, I've been vaccinated, so I'm good. And it's like, well, you know, actually we're coming to learn that the vaccines are only affected at these certain parts of the pandemic. I don't know, it's a deep conversation. I don't usually like to hold this conversation here, but I feel like friggin' this like thing is taking so long and we're all trying to figure this out. Like, we all want to get along. Like, duh, we do. We want to get along. But it's really hard when there's this divisiveness. All right, let's see. Our friend here, who asked about who's going to be deprived of rights. Whenever the totalitarian begins, it always initially takes the rights from those who are the local societal standings, someone less than stellar reputations. It's true. Actually, someone was making a case that more so than anything, disability is like the first category of people that are oppressed. It more so than sexism or, you know, other forms of discrimination. It's oftentimes done with the support of the general public. Little do they realize their rights are next to disappear. Heavy stuff. Nick says, I often see memes with this word coming. The unvaxxed seems stupid and without compassion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fred, I think we talked about that. I'm in the same boat. Like, I would have chosen not to get the vaccine, just personally. Like, I'm a natural person. I've never put dye in my hair. I've never put chemicals in my hair. I don't use any, like, I'm real hippie in that sense. And then when it comes to my own healthcare and my own health, like I put a lot more focus on nutrition and fitness than I do on like more reactive healthcare. And so the same thing applies. Like when it comes to the idea of like some new science, yeah, I'm gonna try my best to avoid it. Yeah, tattoos. I don't even have tattoos. I don't want them. Yeah, I'm not into any of that. So Nick makes a good point. He says that some people, they just enjoy the us versus them fight. They enjoy being within that. And that makes sense, but it's still uncivilized. It's still uncivilized, and we're here to talk about civility. It's uncivilized. Funny that's mentioned about tattoos. Yeah. Like if I have children, I would ideally like to have a similar, perspective on health with my children. But as long as I have them out and about interacting with different communities, vaccines are necessary. But in the ideal, if I could be like isolated somewhere, just in a small community and doing my own thing and providing my own self-sufficiency, yeah. Sustenance, self-sustenance, I would totally not do that, right? So there can be lots of different perspectives on vaccines. It's not all this like anti-vax, pro-vax. I think that there's better wording that we should be using in this argument, and maybe by addressing that that's actually the source of this conflict, of this divisiveness, has nothing to do with the vaccine itself, but more to do with people's perceptions about your politeness to others. And it's hard and it's confusing, but in these types of situations where there are like people dying, it's polite to err more on the safe side. And if you don't want to get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. That's perfectly fine. You have the right not to. They have not done that. I mean, certain corporations and certain offices, some states have now mandated it for their employees. That's not a right taken away. That's, that organization's choice of how they're gonna do things. I don't know what I'm talking about. Some really annoying sound is happening right outside the door. It's like somebody's doing some work out there. I'm sorry about that, everybody. I'm sure you're hearing that screechy noise. Alright, I'm gonna catch up on Reddit. I saw Reddit. Reddit's on fire right now. If you don't have social media or television in the past 2 years, would you honestly think that you are in a pandemic? Yes, I believe so, Cascade. Now, if you didn't have social media or television and you did not interact with people, then yes, I think you easily could go through life without knowing there's a pandemic going on. Like my friends that make this tea that I'm drinking right here, they're, in the Himalayas and the border of India and Nepal. And I asked them about it. I'm like, how's the pandemic there? How does it feel for y'all? And they say, hey, where we are, we're not even feeling it. It doesn't even affect us here. Now it is, though. Actually, when India had their big wave a few months ago, I think like one person within their circles of like, a 20-mile radius got infected. I don't think anybody died, but yeah, it touched their community at some point. Nice troll. Does the Constitution say anything about how to play Wonderwall? I don't know, is that a joke? Dark Bat? Do you have a response to that? I'd like to hear what your response is to that. That's funny. You're talking about Wonderwall, what's the name of that band? The band that sang that song. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name of that band. It's imperative to guard everyone's rights equally. Once anyone's rights are gone, yours will be next to go. Yeah, so that's why I'm having these conversations. That's why I hold space for this to happen, because there are people currently, right now, still in this day, that are denied certain rights. Even though it's written that they're supposed to have rights in the Constitution. But there's other parts of the Constitution that don't reinforce, and there's loopholes, but that's not what today's stream's about. We're not going to get into the details of, like, what's the words they call it? They called it, like, the Oppression Olympics. We're not going to get into that. This is not a time to be trying to one-up each other and understanding who's got more rights or less rights than someone else. Like, just validate that, like, the distribution of rights, the distribution of privilege, the distribution of all of this stuff is different. It's not across the board. Fred says marginalizing the other side is the meta, regardless of what side you're on. Oh, you thought the sound was in your office, Fred? I know, I should go tell those guys to shut. Let me go find out what it is. What is it? It's like a truck. It's a truck out there, and there's no driver. And the truck is just making that obnoxious squeaking noise. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Bitcoin, go bite him. Go bite him. Yeah, see? Bitcoin doesn't like it. Yeah. I don't think you were. I'm sorry. I think that I took that. I don't think that you were trying to establish a victim hierarchy. I think, oh, stopped. Finally. The noise stopped. Yeah, I don't think that you were trying to do that. I just had mentioned it because when you start talking about, like, protecting rights, some people can be like, oh, well, the Constitution already has the 13th and the 14th and the 19th Amendments. Those are all there. So, yeah, we all equally have rights. Hey, PC Toka, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'm sorry if you felt like I was accusing you of something. I was just expanding on what I was saying. But that happens all the time. They're like, oh, well, it's written that everybody has rights, so everybody has rights. And then someone else tries to say, oh, well, these people don't have rights and those people don't have rights. And then sometimes, yeah, you get into this, like, victim hierarchy, as you called it. That's a good way to phrase it. And that's not a very useful argument, a useful practice to get into. My name is Elise. Welcome to my tea table. We're having a Constitution study group today. Specifically, in this moment, we are talking about rights, the distribution of rights, the protection of rights. I am reading an article from the Seattle Times about the constitutional duty of the government to protect the news industry. Surprising stat from the article so far is that 60%, there's been a 60% reduction in employment for the news industry over the past decade. So the industry is going down. Oh, someone deleted their comment? This part of the restoration group that is claiming the right not to wear masks? No, this is not. But funny that you say that, because the reason why I even, hey, Gaviota, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for the like. The reason why I even started doing this Constitution study group every Wednesday was because of that. Like when the pandemic was first manifesting itself and we were getting our bearings and understanding, what's going on and what this new culture that we're living in is about. A lot of people were citing the Constitution for their reasoning of not wearing a mask or of not wanting the schools to go virtual. And I'm like, wow, a lot of people are like talking about their Constitution as if, like they're scholars of the Constitution. Like, let's do a study group so we can like really dig into this. So yeah, there's no agenda in this study group. The only agenda is like that we understand the Constitution to be strictly a protocol, a code of civility, and civility is simply the capacity for politeness. If you see it from that perspective, then you see no politics. Of course, there's going to be factions. There's going to be factions of people that believe we have a right not to wear masks. There's going to be factions of people that believe that, hey, Expeculum, you're a mini fan now. Congrats to you. Awesome, Nick. On your way to core fan. So yeah, sometimes people, they fall into this stream and they think that like it's all just politics, and it's like, actually we're not talking politics at all. Like, I welcome people to ask a political question or to ask a question. A big fan, yeah, huge Uber fan. I hold space for the conversation to address specific factions or political viewpoints. But overall, like, the purpose of this activity is for us to understand Costco size. Damn, that's huge. That's huge. Costco size. So today I'm talking about the government's responsibility, constitutional responsibility to protect the news industry. The noise is a vibe. That's funny, Fred. Well, the noise is gone now, so it's all good. The right to have the arms of a bear. I like the way you put that. Is that your Second Amendment? The right to have the arms of a bear? Yeah. That's an interesting right. That's an interesting right. I don't fully... Oh, I reached a level 16. I'm getting up there. Pro status. More recently, existing tax benefits for individuals and foundations are helping to strengthen the burgeoning field of nonprofit journalism. So that's exciting. Hey, Ron Hill, welcome to the broadcast. The Internal Revenue Service's 2019 ruling that allowed the 150-year-old Salt Lake Tribune to turn itself into a nonprofit enterprise creates a new model of other newspapers interested in finding a way forward that includes philanthropy. All right. There are many other ways the government can strengthen the failing news industry while steering clear of censorship or control of media content. And so this is where our rights come into play. Hey, Fred, I welcome that. I totally welcome that. Like, even though we're talking about pretty serious stuff that could be political, like I said, like, I'll hold space for a political comment or question. It's also good to, yeah, keep it light. Keep it light, keep it fresh. For example, the Local Journalism Sustainability Act, a bill that has bipartisan support in Congress, creates tax incentives to encourage people to subscribe and donate to their local news organizations. It would relieve local news organizations of paying payroll taxes for journalists. And it would also provide tax incentives to businesses that advertise in local news organizations. This could help restore some of the revenue loss in the shift of billions of dollars in advertising to Facebook and Google and other online platforms, none of which has its own news gathering operation. Well, we know that Reddit is not the problem, right? Because, like, Reddit's incredible. Reddit's, like, one of those powerful things that, even though it is a social network and could be detrimental, I mean, it does have advertising. You can pay to have a message. But the advertising is not the same there as it is on Facebook or Google. Facebook and Google, you can say whatever the fuck you want. No one's going to fact check you. No one's going to, like, call you out. There's going to be no consequences if you are dishonest and misleading in the information that you share in your advertising. But you go to Reddit and try to run an ad, they're going to call you out. Like, your ad is not going to perform well. You're not going to have a good ROI on your ad if you do not share authentic, real information. So yeah, Reddit's great. Something else too, this Pococha, the app that I'm streaming on the side, you'll see me over here talking to the app over here. This is, I'm a signed content creator with this podcast now, or this platform. So there's a certain amount of time that I have to stream to it. And it's really fascinating because there's no ads. There's no ads in the app. There's certainly revenue. I mean, the app, I think, has done over $1 billion in revenue in their home country of Japan. So where does it get its revenue from is, like, from the direct value exchange between the consumer and the content creator. There's no ads in the middle that are, like, financing the whole operation. And that's interesting. You know, that definitely doesn't mean that there can't be content creators that are going to be creating and sharing misinformation. But it also means that advertisers that are, for the most part, advertisers, like, don't care at all about misinformation. Like, whatever's going to sell the product is important. And that's something that I bring up a lot in relation to the news industry. So the news industry is really hard for, not a nice way to say that, but it's really focused on fact-checking. Fact-checking is a pillar of journalism. The government does support that. There are a lot of, like, grants and nonprofits that are involved in fact-checking of the news. But there is zero fact-checking of marketing. Zero fact-checking of ads that get served to you on Facebook. There's zero. You can say whatever the heck you want. I could, like, try to sell this tea, completely lie about where it came from, completely lie about what it is as a product. The only regulation that I have as a business, as a marketer of product from the FDA, is misrepresenting the product on the label itself. But there's not a whole lot of standards there. It's just, what is the product? Like, that has to be on the front label in, you know, broad text. The most obvious text on the front label has to state what the product is. So if it's tea, green tea, then that's it. That's the extent. So then the weight, and then the country of origin. But country of origin is only where the product was packaged, like its final packaging. So as long as you packed the tea in the United States, you just have to have the address of your facility on the package, and you don't even have to say where the tea came from. And even if you did say where the tea came from, there is no fact-checking initiative to ensure that you're saying that correctly. And so you may feel that's harmless. It's harmless. Like, what the heck? Like, the tea comes from India and we said it came from China. Like, no big deal. It becomes harmful because it is a lot of information, not just from, you know, my package of green tea that I lied about what country it came from, but every marketer, every product. And we interact with a lot of products every day and a lot of marketing every day. Like, that becomes our education. That becomes the place that we learn about stuff, where we learn how the world works. We learn about nutrition and the health of our bodies from food companies that are trying to sell us food. So just like our diet has completely changed over the past like 30, 40 years. Yeah, Fred says most people don't care where the coffee and their Keurigs come from. Yeah, and that's okay. They don't have to care about where it comes from, right? And that's why the fact checking is not important, because they don't care. But like where we should care as a society is just like the accumulation of all the marketing that we're exposed to that then becomes our education and understanding of the world. So the example about diet, the United States diet. Oh, thank you, Big Daddy for the follow. The diet of the typical adult in the United States has completely changed over the past 30 years, and not in a good way. It's in a way where we demonize fat, and now we're also demonizing carbohydrates. And where the heck did we get that idea? Like, that was like government subsidized misinformation campaign by the sugar industry, by the corn industry. Because it's like, oh, if we demonize fat, then we can just create processed food products that are low in fat, and we can make up for the lower quality, the lower flavor, the lower richness by adding sugar to it. And so now we have these like very high sugar diets with very little fat. It's just silly. And we allowed these marketing people to teach us about our own bodies and our own health. And there was no fact checking, and the government was involved. The USDA was involved in that campaign. That's where that whole like food pyramid. Remember when we were kids growing up, they had that like food pyramid, and like the teachers in class would teach us about nutrition and health through that food pyramid. That's all misinformation. That food pyramid is so much misinformation on it. And so Fred says they're all fine. It's just the quantities moderation that should be stressed. Yeah. But yeah, so then if you moderate your junk food intake, your high carb, high sugar junk food intake, you're going to be like reducing your entire diet, and then you're not getting a good balance of other things. I mean, if the food industry was like honest in their marketing, they would say, hey, we discovered convenient processed food, which we recommend that you use sparingly in times of need, in times of urgency, because we all know, and you all need to know, that cooking your own meals from whole ingredients is better for your health than eating this processed food. Hello, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome. Oh, Preemie, you're back. You're back. You're back, friend. Man, it keeps playing this like Christmas music. It's cool Christmas music, but I'm skipping. We're going to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. Yeah, I'm really passionate about this specific topic, about like fact-checking marketers. My life is going well, just hanging out. Pray me. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm making tea. It does kind of look like urine, doesn't it? I'd be worried if my urine was looking like this. I'd be worried. Wouldn't you be? Wouldn't you be worried if your urine looked like this? Could you imagine stuff like that was in the Constitution? May all free citizens of this country maintain translucent, clean urine. Or transparent, yeah, it should be clear. Ye shall all pee clear, and all shall be fine. Peace shall be experienced across the land. I mean, could you imagine if it was as simple as that? just hydrate. Just hydrate. Hey Scotty, what's up Scotty? Scotty's still here. How you like this? This is I painted this myself. Like my friend's got a business here in town where you can go and they have like the blank ceramics. Like different ceramic pieces, either like teapots or cups or plates. And they're blank. And you just use paints, acrylic paints, to paint them, and then they will glaze them. And this says, here's the motherfucking tea. That's the name of my family on Popacha. Spilling the tea. There's a spill the tea meme, or spill the tea emote on Popacha too, which is kind of cool. It's like, when that comes up, it means you've gotta like spit out some gossip. Color Me Mine, is that like a name of a ceramics painting place that you know about? This one is called, it's in Vegas, it's at Town Center, and shoot, what is it called? I forget what it's called. My friends just bought it. They bought it from the other owners and just picked it up, and okay, Pimpus. Okay, Kimimpus. We'll get to the Constitution. We were heavy in it a second ago, so you missed it. We were. I was letting it get heavy. We were talking about rights. Like someone asked me what my favorite right is, which I gotta say I like the 19th Amendment. Women's right to vote. Yeah, aren't they fun, Pimpus? Like, it's such a surprise that it's fun. It's like, painting ceramics, how fun can that be? But it's actually really fun. Especially if you go with the party. Yeah, it's really fun. Alright, I'm gonna get back. Someone tried to ask me if I was transferring... Oh, was that the comment that got deleted? A lot of comments. Who's deleting these comments? I didn't delete them. Is that like Reddit deleting comments, or people deleting it because they feel bad after they put it? I've never seen comments getting deleted on Reddit before. Oh, so that's the ceramics painting plate. Is it a chain? Are there a lot of those? Color Me Mine, that's cool. Clever marketing. 2 decades ago. Can you imagine that? 2 decades ago? How long ago that was? But it's like... I've already lived almost two decades. Time goes too fast. Time goes too fast. Alright, let's get back to the Constitution. I'll continue reading this article. So I'm talking about Pimpus, I'm talking about the government's I never see well, I guess I do see some deleted, but like on my live videos, I've never seen anybody, like I've had to delete comments before because they were like really bad, but I didn't delete those. I didn't delete them myself, someone else did. Yeah, the poster must have deleted them afterwards. Through antitrust investigations and litigation, government could curb online platforms that abuse concentrated economic power and fail to pay material generated by news organizations. Congress could end protections granted to those platforms against liability for consumer protection, fraud, and defamation, which give them a huge advantage over conventional publishers and media organizations. Federal and state governments could further increase public subsidies for nonprofit and public media and even exempt local news organizations from sales and property taxes. Oh yeah, listen. I want to hear about censorship and bots and all of that, because that's related to what we're talking about now. Like, if social media platforms are going to become like our source for news, then yeah. So you say censorship is getting worse. There are bots that do auto censorship on keywords too, or used to. Yeah, there are. Like on this app that I'm streaming to here from Japan, it's like there's certain words that if you use them in chat, it'll like automatically censor them, automatically turn them. I think TikTok is doing that too, like their voice to text. It's really, or their what do you call it? Their auto-generated captions. There are certain words that if you say it in the video, and then you try to make the captions, the auto-generated captions, it'll censor out certain words. Oh, thank you for the claps. Thank you. Applause. Thank you, holy cow. Such efforts are compatible with the First Amendment because they increase rather than abridge freedom of speech and press, and because they echo government actions long underway. The amendment's meanings have also unfolded in response to new challenges. Over the course of the 20th century, its enforcement by the courts came to reflect social changes and demands. Freedom of speech now is a basic, enforceable right and includes the rights of listeners. Primus says, in my opinion, once a company starts censoring, they become a publisher and are no longer exempt from being protected from implication of user content. So Pimpa says that's not a super strong solution to the censorship problem, but would help. What would help? Them no longer being exempt from being protected? But isn't the government actively trying to like come up with laws to hold all content creation platforms and content distribution platforms to be liable for all of their all the content of their users? Oh, Bra Lord, thank you for the like. Thank you. Example, if some user uploads copyright content and says something bad, the company that censors should be sued to oblivion. Yeah, I think that's happening. I mean, just, even on these platforms that we're on now, like streaming to Twitch or whatever, there's a lot of work that they're doing. You can tell that they're scrambling to figure out, like, with licensed content, especially music. There's a lot of streamers, they just use whatever music, whatever is gonna be, like, vibey and entertaining, and they don't care about licensing. And yeah, the companies are being held accountable for, like, allowing that, to be Only reason they aren't now is because of legal protections due to being an open platform. Some legislators are threatening that now to get them to stop acting as publishers or censor. At least allegedly. Darius, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome in. Welcome to the tea table. Finally, the large degree of existing government involvement in media is a combination with media's importance to democracy, lends constitutional support for new policies. Since the 1930s, the federal government has required disclosure by broadcasters of the actual sponsors and materials because listeners are entitled to know by whom they are being persuaded. It has long enforced rules against broadcasters spreading hoaxes. In the 1994, the Supreme Court upheld a federal law requiring cable networks to carry local and public educational stations in service of competition, information dissemination, and programming variety. Voters and government officials, anyone devoted to the Constitution, should not be willing to watch the news industry collapse. Preserving democracy calls for measures to revitalize the creation, production, and distribution of news. Any contrary view of what the Constitution permits in this field imperils the very system of government it establishes. And that's it. These were the words of Martha Minow, a professor and former dean of the Harvard Law School and author of Saving the News, Why the Constitution Calls for Government Action to Preserve Freedom of Speech. And Newton Minow served as the chair for the Federal Communications Commission under President John Kennedy. So, I mean, credible sources I just read from that article. Pimpus says, I think it'll backfire though. Just add more bloat and regulation and top-down censorship via a bunch of arbitrarily enforcement. I think the only real solution is a tech one, more little platforms and protocols that are better or more distributed. Revitalizing the news? That scares you? You find that scary? What do you find scary about it? You don't want the government funding the news. I see. Well, I don't think the government is funding the news. Like what they were proposing here is the government to like treat the news as a nonprofit where they have certain tax exemptions. So, I mean, I guess indirectly the government is subsidizing those tax revenues. But it's not funding it directly. It's just like, it's proposing that it should operate like a nonprofit. But Scotty, what do you think is getting crazy? You think the censorship is getting crazy? I'd like to hear your perspective on this. I'd like to hear your perspective on it. They're proposing the government fund the news. This article that I just finished reading, or was this like something else? Revitalizing the news. I think you're talking about what I just read. Yeah, I don't think that they were suggesting that the government fund it. Or you think they're just masking? They're masking that they're saying to fund it. Does anybody know the history of the politicization of media? Like, Like, for instance, right now we have CNN or Fox News, right, which are kind of not exactly the polar opposites, but kind of represent that difference. When did that start? Like, when did that polarization within media start? Was it always like that? Because I feel like it has been like that for a long time, and unless the media has always been broken, like, there's got to be a way for different factions to create and distribute news. Not many people want to pay for good journalism. They don't. People want to get paid to know what's going on. That's what people want. And so that's why they let the marketers teach them. They let the marketers educate them about what's going on in the world. I feel very strongly on that viewpoint. It surprises people. Like, no one, like, has ever, like, thoroughly disagreed with me when I've said that, but people do comment. I've never thought about that. I've never thought about it from that perspective. That people are being educated by commercials. Oh, I see, Pimpus, the argument you're making. Yeah, I mean, why is that a big deal then? It kind of seemed like a big deal in this article I was reading, that, like, all right, let me look it up. I'm gonna look, see if there's any non-profit news sources. Yeah, I think the only, like, government-funded, this article is saying the only government-funded news outlet is PBS and National Public Radio. So examples: Center for Investigative Reporting, Inside Climate News, The Marshall Project, Mother Jones, ProPublica, the Texas Tribune, Center for Public Integrity, The Trace. Those are all nonprofit journals. There's a Wikipedia page for it. Wow, we can even look at it. Great. I love Wikipedia. What about Wikipedia? Let's talk about Wikipedia. So Pimpus felt that the article read a lot like turning news media into NPR, legislating against for-profit news. Yeah. Which, in Pimpus's opinion, would be worse. At least within the sea of crap now, we still find good information by cross-referencing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, so Pimpus, I don't know how long you were in. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you the link of that article in chat, so that way you can catch up on the entire article, see the whole thing. If you weren't here to hear me recite the whole thing, that's the link for the article in the Seattle Times. They did spend some time of the article explaining the profitability, the profit margins for the news industry, and how that's a major challenge in what we're talking about. Hey, Coco-yo, welcome to the broadcast. Good to see you. My name is Elise, and welcome to my tea table. Yeah, so the article did, kind of talk about, like, why the for-profit model is in question right now, because social media, Google. Hi, Aiden. Thank you for the like. Coco-yo, thank you for the like. Thank you so much. Hope you all are having a beautiful day. Thank you for the heart. Eddie, thank you for the like. Nick, careful what you wish for. Nick says, I wish I had more friends that stream as much as you do. Okay, so yeah, Nick brought up a good thing. So I mentioned that. Wikipedia. Let's talk about Wikipedia. Eddie, thank you for the like. I'm getting all these likes from people that aren't even coming into the broadcast. I don't get it. They must like drop in, like, and leave the broadcast before like I'm even notified that they came in. So Nick says, I remember hearing when I first started using a computer, which, I mean, that was before you were in diapers, Nick. Gen Zers, they've been using computers since they were born. I remember hearing to avoid Wikipedia for anything that could potentially be opinion-based. That's true. But Wikipedia as, sixth grade. Damn, how is that possible? Because I started using a computer when I was like in kindergarten. I'm like way older than you. It's a values problem. So how to make, all right, so like, then let's throw the nonprofit, because I don't like nonprofits myself. I'm not a fan of nonprofits. I'm not a fan of charity. I'm very much a fan of for-profit. So how could this values problem be addressed? And how could news industry become profitable? Primus said people used to pay subscriptions for, or Pimpus, I'm sorry, I called you Primus, Pimpus. People used to pay subscriptions for good news outlets, like being informed by good journalism. Yeah, people used to. Hey Draper Bird, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for dropping in. It's good to see you. Hey Andres, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for dropping in. My name is Elise. Welcome to my tea table. I'm just drinking a beautiful green tea from Darjeeling, India. This is called Moktuchia. Oh, good point, Ree. Ree says they still do pay for it, but like they is like a niche. That's a niche. Paywalls all over the place, and who, like, paywalls, haven't they become like the new, yeah, the green tea is very good. It's really good. It's really sweet. It's really sweet and nice. Thanks for dropping in. Happy to see you. Yeah, paywalls are everywhere, and they've become like a modern nuisance for the internet. New York Times is definitely a good example, but how many times I've sent a New York Times article to somebody and they say, hey, I can't read it, paywall. So, you know, the amount of people that actually subscribe and support those paywalls, you know, I question. It's a challenge. They pay more for being a part of a club rather than being informed. Most news sites are just editorials at this point, and that's true. Modern education system doesn't help. Yeah. Oh, so in 6th grade, your teacher told you not to use Wikipedia. Yeah, I mean, I feel like every single educator I've ever had in my life has told me that. Every single one. And I agree. Like, I feel like if you're gonna like reference a Wikipedia page, if you're going to like definitely spend some time. But Wikipedias are created by people. They're also edited and censored by people too. And I feel like the longer time has gone and the longer Wikipedia exists and continues to grow, like the stronger it gets. Like it's similar to like the concept of the internet or the concept of cryptocurrency, blockchains. It's like the more that's happening, the more it can correct itself. And so it's almost at a point where like Wikipedia is evolving into like a legitimate news source versus whenever I was in middle school or high school. Yeah, it was absolutely not. Do not reference Wikipedia. It's all wrong. It's written by people. You should just only reference the encyclopedia in like peer-reviewed articles. Other than that, no. Virtual pinball, that's lame. Like that just like takes all the satisfaction of pinball out. Like unless like the computer is like shaking and like making that obnoxious clacking noise, I'm not into it. Wikipedia is a good starting point, but not good for referencing. Yeah, so don't reference the Wikipedia, but give time into reading the Wikipedia, and then if there's interesting points there that you do want to reference, then oftentimes Wikipedia does have citations of like where that person got the information that's on that page, and so you can go directly to the source. All right, Pimpus has got some solutions for us. I'm going to read them off. This is exciting. We're getting somewhere, everybody. So Pimpus says the solution is training people to actually think for themselves, creating their own value, and actually use knowledge for making stuff, providing value. People would naturally gravitate to better news. So essentially we need to humiliate everybody, yeah? We need to humiliate everybody. Oh, tilt. It would, and you would call tilt. You could tilt. Oh, that's advanced technology for a 6th grader. If people were trained. I don't know. I don't think that you can train. I don't think you can train people to think for themselves. Just like you can't train someone to be humble. You can inspire. I guess that. No. Oh, you didn't agree with what I said, what I interpreted. Okay, I'm sorry. Please correct my understanding. While you're doing that, I'm going to go reference this Wikipedia page over here for nonprofit journalism. The root of the problem is value distortion and reliance on money dispensers. Yep. But, you know, if we all became humiliated, money wouldn't matter. And only value would matter. And I'm using the term humiliated, I'm reclaiming the term. So we may not be understanding this word humiliated the same way for each other. Because conventionally, humiliated means to be like shamed or to be deprivated or self-deprivation. That's what people think of humility, like conventionally, that they think, oh, I was humiliated, I was like embarrassed. But like humiliated comes from the same root for humble or humility. And humility is also having some perception that it's negative, that it's weak, that it's low self-esteem, low confidence. But in fact, real humility is an elite amount of confidence, like the most amount of confidence that you possibly could have, where you're so confident in who yourself is and who yourself is in relation to everything else that yourself dissolves and you are no longer putting yourself into a position of importance over anybody or anything else. So I find humiliation to be an empowering thing. So I'm reclaiming the word humiliate when I say the word humiliate. Pimpus thinks that you can train people to act more sensibly or be better calibrated to reality. Yeah. How could you do that though? Like, would you do that through, like, experiences? like cross-cultural experiences. So like the Peace Corps, I did the Peace Corps. I did it twice actually, and that's government subsidized, government sponsored civility. And so like the Peace Corps, it has 3 goals. The last goal, the least important goal, is the development work. Like, you know, building houses, building farms, helping build wells, like that stuff, that's like the last goal. That's the 3rd goal. The first 2 goals are cultural exchange. First and most important is the cultural exchange that the United States citizen will experience by living among a different culture. Hey Clark, good to see you, Clark. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. I'm just hanging out in my studio today, hosting. Oh, thank you, Clark. Thank you. Hosting a Constitution study group. I do this on Wednesdays. We're pretty deep. We're pretty deep in it at this point. Specifically, I've been talking about the news industry, journalism. And somebody in the Seattle Times hey, thank you for the likes, thank you, and thank you for all those beautiful floating hearts. Yeah. Thank you, Clark. I read an article from the Seattle Times. I know you're in Seattle. That was making an argument that the government has a constitutional responsibility to protect the news industry, which is falling significantly. I believe the impressive stat from that article was that there's been a 60% drop in employment among the journalism field over the past decade. Just journalism is not as profitable. The news industry is not as profitable. You have social media and, you know, advertising that, you know, people now are just like getting their news from social media. And so we're having a little bit of a discourse. I call it a discourse. I mean, I welcome argument. If you got fighting words around here, please bring them. Like, I'm holding space. I've got all the time. I've got a bunch of tea to chill me out, and we'll work through it. But somebody on Reddit has been making a lot of very strong statements about the core of this problem not being. Oh, good point. Hey, King of Mystical Powers, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for the like. Clark says Seattle is 99% big brain people, especially including our houseless. Yeah, I'm sure the environment around the news industry in Seattle is very different. But the fact that like that article was published in Seattle means a lot. So yeah, the article was like making the argument that because the for-profit initiative for the news industry is not profitable anymore, it can't compete with social media. People are not paying to subscribe anymore. The content is not as relevant, and the content is it's like deteriorating in quality as well. Someone had made the comment how a lot of news media has kind of turned into just like editorials versus like true news. So yeah, I'd love to hear your perspective. We're also talking about Wikipedia, like because I'm reading an article from Wikipedia, and I do that often, and I feel like Wikipedia has become like a legit source to at least initially understand something, to initially jump into a subject. Like the Wikipedia is great. That's an opinion. Hey, Max. Welcome to the broadcast. Good to see ya. Welcome in. My name is Elise, and welcome to my tea table. I'm broadcasting from my studio today. I'll give you all a little tour. Give you all a little tour of the studs. Oh, thank you for the like. So this is like my green screen. Usually I can, so actually on my stream I'm broadcasting from the newsroom. And this is a really big fabric. It's really big. It hangs all the way around. Like I could take the green screen off. And this completely, this is a warehouse. I'm in a warehouse. And then I got my workstation here. So sometimes, I like to be here because I got my whole workstation. I can look things up and read articles and check the dictionary. I love checking the dictionary. I love the dictionary. All right, I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna catch up on chat from Reddit. I gotcha. Clark says, I've contributed 30 years of unknown history to Wikimedia family. I'm one of their genealogists. Oh, cool. Hey, so Clark actually contributes to Wikipedia. That's great. Nick, my buddy on Twitch, was making a comment about how when he first started using computers in school, he was always told to avoid Wikipedia. And I think that that's kind of, if taught how to use Wikipedia right, like, it's an extremely powerful tool for people in education. Hi, Juno. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for being here. So lovely to see you. So much love. Thank you, Juno. All right, so I gotta catch up over here. Okay, so Pimpus, you got it. Yeah. Being humble. I'm talking about being humble. Like, Clark, something that I do around here on this channel is reclaim words. Sometimes I do the reclaiming. Most of the time, other people do the reclaiming, and I just help people understand that this is a reclamation going on. But I've recently acquired the word humiliate, and I'm trying to reclaim it to its origins, which means to be humbled. And to be humbled means that you have so much confidence in yourself that yourself dissolves. Like, you have so much confidence in who you are that you become no more important than someone else or anything else. And so, yeah, I think that's a powerful word. It's like such an empowering word. And it's like, people are like, oh my God, I was humiliated. It was so embarrassing. And it's like, no, actually being humiliated could be quite a good thing. Oh, thanks, June. Yeah, it is a great goal. I like to reclaim certain words. Another word that we reclaim around here, well, I shouldn't, this is a family-friendly app, I won't do it. But there's a lot of, like, sexualizing terms as a woman that, like, I explain to people. Because they're like, oh, why do these female rappers use these, like, really derogatory terms for themselves and for other women? And it's like, well, because they're trying to reclaim those terms so that, you know, those terms will be defined on their terms versus in this derogatory sense. So Clark says anyone can put false info on Wikipedia, but the higher levels will take down sooner than later. Yeah, I feel like that's gotta that like editing process, that audit process that happens from the higher ups, the higher up editors on Wikipedia. That process has got to happen pretty fast, right? And like, even if you are a contributor, before things get published, don't they get like reviewed first? All right, Pimpus like laid down a lot of good stuff here. I'm gonna read all of it. I'm gonna catch up. Money should correlate to actual productive value. Coco, welcome. Welcome in for the first time. Love you. Money should correlate to actual productive value, but there are lots of economic distortions due to central banking. Hey, Bobby. Hi, Bobby. Welcome back. Good to see you again, Bobby. Due to central banking that rewards people arbitrarily. Guess that's basically what I'm saying. Get people to actively get rewarded based on productivity and what people actually value. The fact that so much money gets arbitrarily lent out and forces people to spend stuff in the now artificially. Hey, Clark, you're a mini fan. Yeah, thanks, Clark. Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah, Judo, thanks for the music. So yeah, the bank, the financial system, that's why we like Bitcoin around here. That's why we like cryptocurrency, because like that can allow for a more smooth, trustworthy, transparent transfer of information between various parties. And so there's not any of this like arbitrary, oh, thank you for the welcome, Clark. Thank you for that. It makes sense that journalism should be declining naturally too, as direct access to sources become instant and easy. And that's a good thing. Like, the direct access to information is super good, and the internet is empowering that to happen. But like, should there be some type of censor on top of all of that that says, you know, this is direct or not direct? A lot of previous journalism was just giving a synopsis on the event you can view directly now. Wikipedia is great. It's pretty amazing. Has its problems, but there's a ton of good info in there too. Okay, so we have somebody that's on the fence about Wikipedia. I'm super pro Wikipedia. I don't know if it's reclaiming so much as redefining. Oh, Pimpus, thank you for that. All right, yeah, thank you. It's not redefining. It's well, maybe it's reclaiming. You like Monero? Monero is your favorite thing. You think it's undervalued. That's the app that's doing remittance, right? Is it? Monero? Like in Africa, they're doing a lot of work in Africa. All right, I'm gonna catch up with y'all. I am so sorry. I gotta get my response. Hey, Yusu. Yusu, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Elise. Welcome to my tea table. Oh, Clark, you got your 4th Pogo box. And you're going to be leaving because you're going to go broadcast. Well, that's great, Clark. Thank you. Hey, Stars. Welcome to the broadcast. Clark, I'll go jump in and hang out with you for a bit when you go up. So Clark says reviewed after on mass content, not things that are protected like the history I contributed. So, like, if you're like an official, like, expert on a topic or something and you contribute to Wikipedia, there's, like, not a review process. You can just contribute. Hey, Ntong, welcome. Thanks for the spam. Yeah. Clark says the history I contributed in Wikipedia was checked by an entire huge historical society that they added my findings. Oh, that's cool. So it was reviewed. Oh, Monero is an actual coin. I'm sorry. That's cool. So you're invested in that one. That's the one that you like. Got it. That's an actual coin. My ignorance. See ya, Pimpus. Love you. Oh, Juno, you got your fifth Pogo box. Juno, great, awesome, good for you. Cheers. Those Pogo boxes, they're great fun. I got one this morning. Peace out. I like that a lot. Thanks. I got peace in my name. I like peace. I opened a Pogo box today that had 111 coins in it. I was like, oh my goodness, yes. I was so excited. I was so excited. And then I could use those coins to become someone's core fan. I became 2 core fans today. Felt good. And both of the people that I became core fans of, it was their birthday. It was their birthday. It was pretty cool. It felt pretty cool. I was like, oh yeah. Birthday, birthday, birthday. Juno, you're sweet. I don't know if I've chatted with you before. How's your day going, Juno? Mine's going pretty good. I was pretty tired, and then I started streaming, and energized now. Having some good conversation over here. I had a really cool friend on Reddit come by and contribute greatly to the conversation. A hater can write trash or publish later get banned, then it will be taken down after the original publishers see it. I see you. It'd be interesting for Wikipedia, like if you could have an account with Wikipedia and anytime you visit an article, and then that article gets some type of review to it, either an edit or either addition, like you'd be notified. If it's like you can bookmark it as like an article that you're specifically interested in. I don't know if that, like, how urgent that feature would be, but that seems like an interesting feature if Wikipedia is reviewed so much. You can make a Wikipedia page in me, but it has to be monitored by the published. And they have that feature. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can. You can log in on Wikipedia. And yeah, so you can say pages and then it'll ping you and let you know when edits have been made. You get tons of notifications. Cool, Clark. All right, so I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for nonprofit journalism. Let's see what they have to say. Coco, you opened up your 8th Poke Box. Awesome. Intong, getting all those boxes. Great for you. I'm so happy for you. So happy. So happy. Oh, Coco, Coca. Who is this Coca? You've reached a level 4. Nonprofit journalism. Oh, Juno. I gotta tell you, what does Juno stand for? You can let me know what it stands for. I totally thought of Juno as a woman's name, and then I clicked on your thing, and you've got a male presenting image there. So is your name an acronym? Oh, interesting. Oh, Clark, 9th Pokebox for the day. Awesome. So that happens. Interesting, Clark. So you're telling me that these spammers that are just getting coins, they could potentially be taken away from your other Pokeboxes for people that would need them. I opened a Pokebox this morning that was 111 coins. I was just I just struck the lottery. I felt so happy. I was like, what? Because usually I only get 2 or 3 coins in my boxes. So that was kind of fun. Nonprofit journalism is the practice of journalism as a nonprofit organization instead of a for-profit or a business. The nonprofit journalism groups are able to operate and serve the public good without the concern of debt, dividends, and the need to make a profit. Just like all nonprofit organizations, these outfits depend on private donations. Or foundation grants to pay for operational expenses. Yeah, sounds like a nonprofit. Happens a lot. Is that what Juno means? Or people think that you're... Oh, Clark, thank you for the genius. Oh, you're so sweet. You're the genius. You're the genius. I was missing you, Clark. Actually, I was like, where's Clark been today? Oh, thank you for the good. Thank you. I was expecting to see you today at some point. I did spend a good amount of my day on Pokecha. Oh, cute. So, thank you. Thank you, Clark. Much love to you. Much love to you. And a WOA. Awesome. Hey, everybody clap those. Clap it. Clap it. I'm not seeing any claps. Everybody clap it. Clap it. The recent emergence of nonprofit journalism may lead to some to believe that this is a new trend and a struggling industry. However, journalism nonprofits have been operating since the beginning of the newspaper age. In 1846, 5 New York newspapers united to share incoming reports from the Mexican-American War. Come here, Bitcoin. Come here, baby boy. Bitcoin. Clark Kent. That's interesting. Well, there is a Clark Kent on this app. He was here earlier. He was hanging out with us earlier. Oh, man. I got a Bitcoin. I received a Bitcoin. I'm ready to hang out with y'all. Are you like Clark Kent, or are you calling Clark Kent? But yeah, there is a Superman, or as he has it on his title here in Japanese and katakana, Superman. Superman. Look at that mouth. Y'all better be... Oh, Juno, congratulations on your 10th Pokebox. Yip, whoop, whoop, whoop. It's a really good thing that this phone does not have smell-o-vision, because Bitcoin just yawned, and you would have gotten a big whiff of his stinky breath. He keeps a really stinky breath. Yeah, Clark Kent. Cool, Juno. You kind of look like it. I was looking at your picture. But you're not here anymore. Just the tongue dude is here. That experiment in journalism became the Associated Press, which is to this day a nonprofit cooperative. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, the Associated Press is a nonprofit. We all know about that. New Internationalist magazine, published since 1973 in the UK and since 1979 as a separate company in Australia, represents one of the world's longest lasting independent nonprofit publications. In the US, 2 local nonprofit journalism organizations were established in 1974 and 1976 respectively to cover social and economic urban policy issues. Alright, so yeah, this is just a lot of history here. That. Bitcoin, you looking for treats in the newsroom? You looking for treats? Did you find any treats? Oh yeah, I'm hitting the spot for him. So that's a cool experiment. Come to learn that Reddit likes the Constitution Study Group. That's great. So grateful for that. What? Okay, talk about censorship. I just got a notification that somebody made a claim that they own my video. And it's this video right now. Play the matching part. Let's see, what's the matching part? That's interesting. Moneycontrol.com. What the heck is that? Goodbye. Bye, Tom. Did you get your boxes? What is this? Moneycontrol.com? Yeah, it's possible. Maybe. I don't know. They just want to put a link on my video. Oh well. I'll deal with it afterwards. We'll deal with it afterwards. How long have I been going? I've been going 2.5 hours. I think that's a good amount of time. Hey Corey, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Corey, how you doing today? My name is Elise, and this is Bitcoin. Welcome to our tea table. We just had a very deep, meaningful conversation about the news industry and about what constitutional duties the government has in protecting and supporting the news industry. We've been streaming for a couple hours now, 2.5 hours. Thanks for those heart emotes, they're cute. It says this video, the background video I have says It's free. But this like website is trying to claim that it's theirs. That's fine. I don't mind if they put a link on my video. It's a news source. I doubt it's a non-profit one, but we have to support the news industry. It's really important. If not, we're going to be getting all of our news and all our education from the marketers and from social media. Oh, thank you for the star emotes, Corey. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Our pan friends, our pan lovers, thank you so much for hanging out with me, having a nice conversation, contributing to the conversation here. I totally appreciate it. I am going to be tuning off. You will see me again on Friday night. I'll be back on Friday night for a Best Life Friday stream. Ooh, Bitcoin. Ooh, boy. Oh, he wants to get in the frame so he can see all of y'all. See? Bitcoin loves you. Yeah, Bitcoin loves you. All right, I'm gonna tune out. See you on Friday. See you in a couple of days. Bitcoin, say goodbye. Who's that? Are you talking to Corey? Are you trying to talk to Corey? All right, our panel. See y'all later. I'm gonna stop now. Bye. That was nerve-wracking, but I made it happen. It worked. Pococha, it works. Pococha, Bitcoin loves Pococha. Oh, thank you for the heart emotes. I really hope you get that Pokébox. I really hope you get that Pokébox. Go check the link on these videos, see what it looks like. Oh, that's what it is? Yeah, no one's gonna click that. Where's this take me? That just takes me to the website. Let them have that link. Let them have it. I totally got this video of this newsroom from a site that said free use, no citation needed. God, it's so weird with licensed content, licensed art, licensed music to like. Thank you for the rainbows. Thank you for the rainbow emotes. What, Bitcoin? What? What? Baby about? He says, Hey Daryl, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for coming in. Hope you enjoy yourself here. What? Big one's like, Are you ready to go down? You want to go down? Say goodbye to everybody. Say, I love you. I love you all. Okay, go on. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream over here as well. Who's here? Who's hanging out? Oh, Corey, thank you. Thank you for those unicorns. Thank you for keeping your spam fresh. Thank you for keeping your spam fresh. Hey Bon, hey 007, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome in, my name is Elise and welcome to my tea table. Oh, Snake Eye is here. Snake Eye, I miss you, buddy. It's been a long time. You got a blue box! Yay! How many coins were in your blue box? Oh, Alejandro. Alejandro, where are you where are you tuning in from? Let's say state. You don't have to give details. And how is your day going? We are on the tail end of this Constitution study groups stream. We had a very nice conversation, discourse around the constitutional duty that the government has to support the news industry. All right, y'all, I'm just gonna end the stream. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow for Tea Talks. Tea Talks will be back. It'll be social. It'll be fun and social.